Good morning. Whoever you are and wherever you're from, we're so glad that you're here. Welcome to Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening Sunday morning service. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Lay all your fears and all your doubts aside. Let go of all the hurt you hold inside. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Can you feel the love of all who've gathered round? You are worthy of this gift of love right now. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Well, who'd have known that who you are is enough? And who'd have known that you could be so loved? Well, we know. Now you know. Yes, we do. Now you know. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Yes, feels good to sing. Feels good to sing, and it feels good to open our hearts. So I want you to imagine that you're having a conversation with life or a conversation with love. And you're saying, I'm open to you, life. I'm open to love. Whatever you want to fill in for the word presence. When I say I'm open to the presence that you are in my life, I'm not praying outside of myself to some person on a cloud judging me. That's not the way I see the divine, who goes by many names and really doesn't care what we call it. So when I say I'm open to the presence that you are in my life, I'm saying I'm open to the presence of love. I'm open to life. So I just wanted to invite you to have a conversation with life through your breath for just a minute. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that people are asking me every day, someone asks me about meditation. And we have a tendency to make it way harder than it has to be. Just be still for a moment, focus on your breathing, and allow yourself a moment to relax. So let's have a mini intro to a musical meditation for just a moment and have a conversation with life. I am open to the presence that you are in my life. I am open to the presence that you are in my life. So wherever So focusing on your breathing, allow it to take you to that ground of all being, that space within that is never rocked by outside circumstance. And maybe you haven't touched that place yet, but you can. And so I just invite you to take a breath, hold it for just 2 seconds, and then release it for a little bit longer than you breathed it in. Let's do that together. You're meditating. So as with life, let's not make it so hard. Just keep focusing on your breath, allowing your body to relax, having a conversation with life that says, I'm open, I'm willing. I release any idea that I have to know how to live my best life. I just say yes to it. And breathe. I am open to the presence that you are in my life. I am open to the presence that you are in my life. So wherever I am, there you are, and I am on sacred ground. So I speak this word this morning, knowing that wherever I stand is holy ground. For the one that breathed life into existence is breathing me right here and right now. I am never separate from this source. And I'm open to living from a greater degree of awareness of this truth. As I speak this word, I know it is true. I know there's a desire within each of us to live that. And I know the universe says yes to it. This divine presence of intelligence and love itself says yes to me. It says yes to you right now. Oh, beloved God, thank you. Thank you for Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening, for this Sunday morning gathering. I am so grateful. I release the details of this service and the details of my life into the heart and the mind of God, knowing that all is well and unfolding as it should. So with a heart full of gratitude, I release these words and allow them to be so. I am open to the presence that you are in my life. I'm saying that to all of you too. I am open to the presence that you are in my life. So wherever I am, there you are, and I am on sacred ground.
Hey, I'm Donna Heil. I want to tell you a little something about a new form you're going to be getting in your inbox. It's a little getting to know you form. This came about from Lisa Lee and Kate Cameron and I were sitting around talking about some things we'd like to see new in our newsletter that comes out. Our newsletter is amazing, and we just thought there's some things we might want to add to it. So the first thing we talked about was getting some full disclosure from our board on board meetings. And lo and behold, the next week, all of Lisa Lee's amazing minutes were posted in the newsletter, and it's awesome. There's so much to see and learn about what goes on behind the scenes. Secondly, we wanted to see more people from our community in the newsletter. We wanted to get to know more people. There's new members that are online and live out of state, and there's people we haven't seen in a long time. So Angie created a very simple form that has 3 or 4 questions on it. I filled it out last night. It's super easy. What brought you to new thought? What brings you joy? Just tell us a little bit about yourself. You can answer any, all, or none of the questions. Just, we would love to see your faces. We asked for a picture of maybe you, your family, your pets, camping, at the beach, whatever brings you joy. So we hope you fill out the form and send it in, and we look forward to seeing more faces on our newsletter and getting to know you better. So take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Hello, my name is Jack Kyle, and today I'll be reading from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. The reading I've chosen is the same as Donna's birthday, April 24th, and it's called Love Like Water. Only love, with no thought of return, can soften the point of suffering. Water, in its clear softness, fills whatever hole it finds. It is not skeptical or distrusting. It does not say, this gully is too deep or that field is too open. Like water, the miracle of love is that it covers whatever it touches, making the touched thing grow while leaving no trace of its touch. True, the faces of shores and the arms of cliffs are worn to the bone. But this is beyond the water's doing. This is the progress of life, of which water is but an element. Most things break instead of transform because they resist. The quiet miracle of love is that without our interference, it, like water, accepts whatever is tossed or dropped or placed into it, embracing it completely. Of course, we are human and are easily hurt if not loved back or if loved poorly. But we waste so much time of life's energy by deliberating who and what shall be worthy of our love, when in the deepest elemental sense, these choices are not in our province any more than rain can choose when it shall fall upon the earth. Certainly, we need to make decisions. Who will I spend my time with? Who will I learn from? Who will I live with? Who will I marry? But beneath all that, the element of love doesn't stop being elemental. It does not stop covering everything before it. And over a lifetime, the pain of withholding this great and quiet force is more damaging than the pain of being rejected or loved poorly. For love, like water, can be damned, but toward what end? In truth, the more we let love flow through, the more we have to love. This is the inner glow that sages and saints of all ages seem to share. The wash of their love over everything before them, not just people, but birds and rocks and flowers and air. Beneath the many choices we have to make, love, like water, flows back into the world through us. It is the one great secret available to all. Yet somewhere this misperception has been enshrined that to withhold love will stop hurt. In truth, it is the other way around. As water soaks scars, love soothes our wounds. If open to, love will accept the angrily thrown stone, and our small tears will lose some of their burn in the great ocean of tears. And the arrow released to the bottom of the river will lose its point. Thank you.
Is the spiritual practice that we call treatment really the same thing as prayer? Well, Ernest Holmes addressed this in his book, The Science of Mind. He said, one of the questions most frequently asked about the science of mind is, are prayer and treatments the same? The answer to this question is both yes and no. If, when one prays, his prayer is a recognition of spirit as the one presence, the one power, the one creative source of all that is, and with a realization of humanity's unity with spirit, then his prayer is a spiritual mind treatment. If, on the other hand, one is holding to a viewpoint that God is some far-off being whom he would approach with doubt in his thought, wondering if by some good luck he may be able to placate God or persuade him of the wisdom of one's request, then there is but little similarity between prayer and treatment. So, we may say that treatment is conscious use of the creative nature of thought to allow more of the boundless good of spirit to flow through our awakening beliefs into experience. And with that, I invite you to join me in knowing some of that boundless good in treatment. Right where I am, I relax into a comfortable place, knowing that right beyond the appearance and the opinion, there is that one spiritual presence that is the one energy, the one infinite intelligence that is the source of all that is, that it expresses from beyond time and space, knowing itself as all that is, as complete, whole, perfect, endless joy, boundless good, radiant, unconditional love, forever giving of itself into its creation, elegantly, beautifully, naturally, everywhere in its fullness. And I know that it expresses in and as me. It is the essence of my being. And as I easily and naturally let go of any idea of separation or limitation, in its place I awaken to a greater idea of myself, a greater idea of reality, and a greater reality of everyone in my life. I know that everyone in this community, everyone in the world and beyond, just beyond the appearance and the opinion, that we are all magnificent spiritual beings, one with the source of all good and one with each other, that we are children of the Most High, one spiritual family on the magnificent journey of awakening to our true spiritual natures. Therefore, I step into a new idea of myself, a new idea of community, a new idea of humanity, a new idea of everything. I feel the boundless good of spirit flow easily and naturally through my awakening beliefs. And as I do, I know that this is happening to everyone I know, everyone in the world and beyond, as we celebrate the boundless good of spirit revealing itself. I am so happy and grateful to release this clear spiritual mind treatment into the law, into experience. It is so, and so it is.
So happy Mother's Day, everyone. In honor of Mother's Day, I've decided to read a little bit for you from the Susan Pula-Schultz, Don't Ever Give Up Your Dreams. A gift from my mother to me. Every single poem in this book is underlined. She underlined every word of every poem and wrote in the margins on several pages. This life is yours. Take the power to choose what you want to do and do it well. Take the power to love what you want in life and love it honestly. Take the power to walk in the forest and be a part of nature. Take the power to control your own life. No one else can do it for you. Take the power to make your life happy. And then there's this one. You are a wonderful, worthy, and lovable person. Appreciate that about yourself. No one has ever been or will ever be quite like you. You are an individual and original, and all those things that make you uniquely you are deserving of love and praise. And then she has down here, so many of these poems are just like they were written just for you. This was a gift from my mom the year I graduated high school, January 1st, 1986, to my darling baby girl, Christy. Precious. One of the most precious gifts she ever gave me. Besides her love, of course, the most precious. She must have had this motherly, feeling come over her. My baby girl is about to fly the nest, right? In June of that year, I left for college. Never to live at home again. Left. And so it reminds me of the bird in the nest. It reminds me of, I just saw some birds. We have some robins in a nest at the side of the porch, and I was at the Noda Company store the other day, and there was a big nest of robins, and the robin was flying right over our swing straight into the nest, and you could see her feeding the babies. And then I went over to get a little video, and I got a little too close, and she flew off, and one of the little baby fledglings, is what you call them? Anyway, the babies started to flutter, and it almost fell out before it was ready to fly. And I thought, oh, no, not yet, you're not ready. Not yet, you're not ready. But when we are ready, it's time to get out of that nest and fly. I remember being a little kid, we had those incubators where we would hatch chickens and specialty birds and doves and different things. And as a kid, I would watch the little incubator, and I couldn't wait for them to start pecking through the shell. And I literally couldn't wait. And once I was trying to help, and my mom was like, no, you can't do that. You'll kill it. I'm like, but it's having a hard time. It's barely coming through. And she's like, don't touch it. It has to do it on its own. It's that pushing through, the breaking through the shell that gives the little chick the strength to stand. It is that part that's theirs to do, that no one can do for them or they won't make it. They have to build their strength to stand and to be by the work they do breaking free of the shell. Sound familiar of our journey in this life? It strengthens us. It grows us to break free of our shells. Oh, but if only we had one shell. I know. We're continually breaking free of the next shell and the next shell and the next shell. Like one of those little dolls, the Russian dolls, inside the doll, inside the doll, inside the doll. That's kind of us on our journey of breaking out of the shell. And another story that just happened, we found a baby owl. And I wanted to, there I was again, like a little kid. I want to help. And then I thought, Maybe not. I remembered that story about the incubator, right? And how that was going to hurt. So I looked up, I called some specialists about baby owls. My brother, that's my specialist, that's my go-to. And he's like, no, don't touch it. It needs to be able to learn. What they do is they basically just jump out and they land on the ground because they're not quite ready to fly yet. And then they grab the tree with their beak and they start flapping their wings and strengthening their wings. If I had rushed over to mess with it, would have scared the mom off who was there, who was overlooking the whole thing and ready to bring food until the baby was able to do its own thing or whatever. So there's a lesson in that for us, right? We have to be willing to do our own work, but we also have to be willing to ask for help. Both of those things are important. If we are the little bird, we got to be willing to accept the help until we're ready to do it on our own. But once we're ready to do it on our own, we have to do the work. To break free, to be you, to grab the power of your own life and your own happiness, the power you have to have that. And that has to be our priority. If we want to be happy, our happiness has to be our priority instead of our fear. Instead of letting our fear rule us, we have to let our joy and our happiness pull us. Right? So this journey of being you is a fabulous journey. It's the doll inside the doll inside the doll. We're continually breaking free of the shells. But let's think about the shell for a second. The shell, because there's always going to be a new shell, honey. There's always going to be, I keep talking about authenticity. That's one of my part of my life journey is to talk about, sing about, and do my best to live and teach authenticity. But it's not something that I never get to practice again. I'm practicing it every single day because you're always going to the next level of how authentic are you going to be in this scenario. Okay, you did all right on that one. Now, how about this one? Oh, you did really great on that one. How about this one? So in this shell experience, the next shell and the next shell, what do you have? You have protection. You're guarded. You have a barrier between you and others. And so at each level of our becoming, at each level, we have these things. And yet we can't grow and expand, which is our nature, if we don't break free of the next shell and the next shell. Of course, you've broken free, or you wouldn't be sitting here with me right now. That's the law of attraction. We are drawn together, like minds pulled together. So I have every confidence that you're here by divine appointment. I'm here by divine appointment. We are here as mirror souls for each other. We are here on this journey, those of us in spiritual community together, and those friends who just dropped by today. There was something here for you today. Otherwise, you wouldn't have stopped scrolling. You would have gone on and done something else with your day. So there's a reason that you're here. There's a reason we're all here. And so when we pay attention to life showing up, knowing that it's showing up for us, okay, all right, so shell. Reverend Christy's talking about shells. I'm listening. So it's showing up for me, this shell talk, breaking the shell. There's a beautiful Indie R.E. song about that, Break the Shell. It's fantastic. Anyway, so break the shell. What is the shell? It's comfort. It's predictability. We know what it's like inside the shell. We know where everything's at. We know what it's like. It's the conformity to status quo. It's just how things are, and we get it. We know how it is. So how about helping that shell to break a little bit from the inside out by welcoming discomfort? And I talked about that last week a little bit. I don't mean to be miserable in your life. I just mean when things come along that feel like a tight shoe, to recognize it, pay attention, and realize it's growing you. So welcoming discomfort, welcoming unpredictability. What is that? That's being spontaneous, right? Welcoming the unique, perfect individualization that you are. Welcoming being radical. Master teacher Jesus was radical. Buddha was radical. Be radical. Be radical, which just means really to be you. Everybody else, you've heard the saying, everybody else is taken. Everybody else is busy. Be you. Stop trying to be what others want you to be, what you think you need to be in any situation, that chameleon effect, and just be you. That's why I wanted to start out today just giving a tiny little brief moment for people who don't understand meditation yet to taste it just a little. Because when we can stop and breathe and lay down our defenses, we're pecking that shell, and we're building the muscles we need to go to the next level, to fully be you at each and every level of your experience in this human experience. So being uncomfortable, I've heard it said that it's not the unknown that we fear, it's releasing the known. So being uncomfortable really is about being willing to release the known. Ooh, right? Being willing to release the known. For some people, that's like, woohoo! It's like a roller coaster ride that they enjoy. For other people, it's like, oh, no. It's a roller coaster ride that they don't enjoy. But being willing to release the known opens you up. I'm sure it was not comfortable for my mother to give birth to 6 children. Wasn't even comfortable for the 6 of us coming out, especially me. I had the umbilical cord wrapped around my throat and almost died. So the birthing process is not comfortable. But we don't want to avoid it, do we? We want to come on out. We want to come on out and give birth to our next level of being. I've been a guitar player for most of my life, and every single time I hit this plateau, I think, well, that's it. I've learned all there is to know. Well, not really. I've been willing to learn as far as I'm going to go. Let's put it that way. And then I'll hit this plateau, and it just feels like, why bother? And then something will happen, and it will challenge me to learn a new piece of guitar theory, or learn a new chord, or learn a new strumming pattern, or a new something, or maybe a new riff will come in my head, and I'll think, I could dance with that with some words. And the next thing you know, I'm writing again, or I'm playing again, even more than before. I mean, I play every day, but I'm writing again. And you break free from that plateau. That's breaking through. It's not comfortable. It's frustrating. Man, it's frustrating when you're a guitar player and you're like, I wish my fingers would do what I'm hearing. I wish I could figure out what I'm hearing. Sometimes I'm like, where are you? I hear you, but I don't know where you are. And I'm trying to find it. It's uncomfortable. But if I didn't welcome it, then I wouldn't have a new song to share with you today. So welcoming that discomfort. The in-between, we had a place that served us very well called Magnolia Woods for our first couple of years as a spiritual community. Then COVID hit. We dutifully paid our rent all the way through. I handed the lease in the last Sunday we were able to meet in person. Can you believe that? And we honored that. We paid our rent religiously all the way through to the end of December. But we had already formed a search committee before COVID even happened, and we were looking for a new space. So we definitely did not renew our lease with Magnolia Woods after December when we still couldn't meet in person. So we are continuing that search. But that's another in-between, right? It's welcoming the uncomfortable. I'm so proud of this community because that's the space that a lot of people will be like, I'm gonna hold back. I'm gonna hold back, see how this turns out. It's gonna turn out amazing. It always does. Ever since the inception of this community, every single step has been like, can you believe it? Yes, I can. It's amazing. So that's how it turns out. Go ahead, spoiler alert. Turns out amazing. It continues to be amazing. But in the in-between place, it could be uncomfortable, right? There's no church office. There's no space for holding classes or anything just yet, but there will be. We're still waiting for folks to get vaccinated and for the conditions to continue to improve and improve and improve, so we're fine. And the right place is making its way to us as we speak. See how much more comfortable that feels, though, during the discomfort when you trust and you have faith that this too is good, this too is God, and it's bringing us to an even better experience. So I'm just like, woohoo, go ahead. Show off, universe, show off. I'm watching. Show off as me, show off as them, show off as us. Show off. I'm waiting, and I'm willing, and I'm expecting. So being our authentic self is another space that can feel uncomfortable. When you've grown to be a certain way with family, friends, job, and then all of a sudden you start to be a little different. You start to speak your truth a little more, whatever the case may be. It can feel uncomfortable. That's what I'm talking about when I say welcome the uncomfortable, willing to learn something new. And then how about the unpredictable? That's being spontaneous. Being spontaneous gives the room for the universe to wow you. It gives the universe room to move, gives God room to move and to wow you. When you're out of your comfort zone, out of your routine, then you're open to miracles. You're open to amazing things happening. But we have to stop trying to figure out what others want us to be. Stop trying to figure out all the pitfalls that might be, all the things that could go wrong, and start living in the amazing. and being spontaneous, trusting that if I do something in a certain way that's out of my norm, out of my routine, it's opening me up for amazing miracles, not putting me in jeopardy. No, I'm flowing freely with the universe. Life is good. Go ahead, universe, show up and show off as me, as my life, as my spiritual community. I'm expecting it, continually expecting it. How about welcoming the unique amazingness that you are? Releasing conformity, speak the truth, as Eleanor Roosevelt said, even if your voice shakes. So how many people are actually reading the newsletter that we send out every week? I say we, meaning my wife Angie. I invite you to sign up for that newsletter and to open it. It is a work of art. It is amazing. It inspires me every single week. There's something for the kids in there. There's always a video for the kids. So parents, check that out. There's always a video for us adults, even though we can learn from the kids. This past week, I absolutely loved, or it's the week before. I've been listening to it a lot, so maybe it was the week before. But anyway, recently, she shared a video by a woman named Carolyn Mchugh, who has a fabulous Scottish accent that I love. But anyway, this is a quote from Carolyn Mchugh. Most of us don't take up the space the universe intended for us. We just take up the wee space around our toes. Most of us are not even taking up the space the universe intended for us. Be you. I hear that Amy Steinberg song in my head. Be you, be a radical. Yes, be you. I'll get to being radical in a second, but be you. Take up the room. Take up that space. Not meaning in a narcissistic way, but in a, I'm expecting amazing things everywhere I go. One of our prayer team members, Goddess, loved that every time you ask Goddess how she's doing, she's like, amazing, as always. Love you, Goddess. Thank you for reminding us to show up to life that way. Amazing, as always. Carolyn Mchugh also mentioned in her video one of the videos I watched, the one that Angie shared, she mentioned Jill Scott, and I love her. Live life like it's golden. Yeah, I'm not going to sing that, but she's fabulous. She's amazing, amazing, amazing. And so she mentioned Jill Scott, who was talking about, she was being interviewed right before she went on stage after Erykah Badu, who is also amazing, phenomenal, and love her. And so the person asked, Jill Scott, well, are you nervous going on after Erykah Badu? And she's like, I think she said something like, have you seen me? Have you seen me perform, baby? I'm not nervous. I'm a queen. Something to that effect. I step in my queendom. That's what she said. I live in my queendom. She's like, I love Erykah Badu. She has shaped me. She has, given so much to me and inspired me, whatever, something like that. She said, but I'm me. She's not me. I'm me. I just booked a show at the Evening Muse. I'm so excited. A real live show. I'm so happy about it, with the band and everything. And I booked it with Renee Russell. And Renee Russell is somebody that years ago, when I was first starting to play guitar, she had a couple of years experience on me, and she was already doing what I wanted to do. And I would go and sit and listen to Renee Russell and she plays guitar so well, and is a very good songwriter, great unique voice, the whole package. And I would go listen to her, and I would just be like, yeah, that. I want to do more of that. She inspired me. And now we're doing this show together at the Evening Muse. And I thought about that Jill Scott example, talking about Erykah Badu. I am in awe of Renee Russell, but I'm not small in my own mindset about going on with her that night. No, it makes me bigger because I celebrate how amazing she is, and I know that I have my own gifts. I bring my own thing. I do me like she can't do. She does her like I can't do, right? We have to stop comparing ourselves to everyone else and playing small because it makes someone else feel uncomfortable when we don't, or playing small because we're afraid. Take up more space than the wee space around your toes. Live large. Live large. Live knowing no one can do it like you, this life. I love Araya Mountain Dreamer. She has several poems that are so inspiring, but this excerpt is from The Call. Let yourself be one of the God mad, faithful only to the beauty that you are. Let the lover pull you to your feet and hold you close, dancing even when your fear urges you to sit this one out. Remember, there is one word you are here to say with your whole being. When it finds you, give your life to it. Don't be tight-lipped and stingy. Spend yourself completely on the saying. Be one word in this great love poem we're writing together. When it finds you, give your life to it. When it finds you, that thing that you're here to be about. For me, it's inclusion, love, acceptance, and authenticity. Whether it's in music, in retreats, in concerts, in speaking, in community, in coaching, whatever, all the things that I do, they match up to that. I say yes to it if it hits that. If it's me expressing as that in the world, then it's mine to do. I sing it. I give myself to it. When it finds you, give your life to it. And as my dad would say, then you'll never work a day in your life. You'll be happy. I remember being a kid and I was so different in so many ways. And someone asked me one time, can't you just be normal? And I looked. And at first I felt like small. Like, oh, I don't know, can I? And then only a few years later, I remember being a teenager and I had on this shirt and it said, and I was around that same person, and the shirt said, why be normal? It's just boring. Be radical. Be radically you. Who are you? Who do you think you are? Who are you here to be? And stop making excuses and staying small, but living large. Carolyn Mchugh also said this: you have to develop an inner state of mind that's impervious to all the good bleep and all the bad bleep that happens to you as the sky is to the weather. Be as impervious as the sky is to the weather, whether it's good or bad. Or as the Bible says, be you not attached to the fruits of your labor. It's not about the fruits or the spoils, but about the heart at the center of it all. Your heart at the center of your life. What are you here for? And live that, and live it large. Be true to that. And I promise you everything else will fall into place. Just be you. A bird in the nest needs help to fly free. It's safe and warm inside the shell at the top of that tree. But you've broken your shell or you wouldn't be sitting with me here. So make happiness your priority. Don't be ruled by your fears. Be unique, be who you are, be radical. Welcome discomfort, be unpredictable. Don't be what everyone wants, be who you are here to be. Yes, be all that you came here to be. Be spontaneous, be willing. Sit back, enjoy the view. Let the universe show off as you. Ask for help when you need it, but be willing to do the work. Learn to bless the mess, to fill your cup and put yourself first. Be unique, be who you are, be radical. Welcome discomfort, be unpredictable. Don't be what everyone wants, be who you are here to be. Yes, be all that you came here to be. Be faithful only to the beauty of your heart. Let your life be original, works of art. shell, live from your freedom. Break the shell, live from your freedom. Break away, break free. Break away, break away, break free. Kids, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way that you are.
Hi, I'm Janice DaCosta, prayer chaplain, intern practitioner, and just ecstatic to be serving on the CCSA Board of Trustees as treasurer. And some of you may have heard a few of my prosperity moments in the past, but this one is a little different. This prosperity moment is actually one for CCSA. Now, we all know COVID caused a lot of businesses and churches to permanently close. And while CCSA was so very fortunate to remain in operations, we did experience months of being in the black, or for a better term, in the negative financially. But I'm happy to announce that we had a positive month in March. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of a community where I can give where I'm spiritually fed. And collectively, we're holding space for prosperity and abundance in all forms for our community. So let's just know together and get into that feeling of excitement that CCSA just continues to experience. Endless positive months and an overabundance of prosperity in all forms with peace, grace, and effortless ease. So now, as we move into our conscious giving, repeat after me. Divine love moving through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. And so it is.
I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for joining this morning, and thank you for your generous donations and tithes to Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. On behalf of the board and our membership, we deeply, deeply appreciate you. And what I know about the universe, what I know about spiritual law is that as you give, you receive. So give from that energy of gratitude always, wherever you're giving, even if it's to pay your light bill, give it from an energy of gratitude, but especially when you are giving back to the divine, by giving to a source, an avenue of the one source, actually. I only have one source, and that is God. So when you're giving back to God through the many avenues, whether it's this center or someone else, some other organization or person that reminds you of the truth of your being and inspires you to live your best life, do it from a place of gratitude for all that you've received. So let's be in that energy of gratitude together as we just chant the word grateful and a few other words. Grateful, grateful, I am grateful for all that I have, all that I am grateful, I'm so grateful. That's it, sing that with me. Grateful, grateful, I am grateful for all that I have, all that I am grateful, I'm so grateful, 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 I am grateful for all that I have, all that I am grateful, I'm so grateful. So holding all the things you're grateful for in your heart, and breathing a breath of gratitude for your family, your friends, your health, your job, or your retirement, your four-legged babies, this beautiful day. just say thank you, beloved God, for this life. I'm so grateful for all that I have, all that I am. And I release this service and this day and all of the details continually back to God. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. Grateful, grateful. I am grateful for all that I have, all that I am. I am grateful. I'm so we look so forward to seeing those of you in this Charlotte area in person, those of you who feel comfortable doing so. Next Sunday, we will have our online service as always at 11 a.m. We will add next Sunday an in-person service at, wait for it, a tattoo shop. Yes, we will. It's a place called Canvas Tattoo and Art Gallery. They are wonderful people in the heart of Noda, which is close to Uptown Charlotte, our arts district of Charlotte. They have 2 locations. In between the 2 is 33rd Street. So at the corner, at the intersection of 33rd Street and North Davidson Street, you'll see Canvas Tattoo on one side and just a little ways down, Canvas Tattoo on the other. Both locations have parking, which is so amazing and wonderful that we have free parking at both locations. And so at the location 1, which is on the left, if you're looking at 33rd Street, it's the one on the left. The location on the left has a beautiful event space in the back where they show movies and have concerts. There's a stage and chairs and beautiful huge oak trees for shade. So we invite you, if you feel comfortable doing so, still following any CDC guidelines to be safe. But we will be there at 10 a.m. next Sunday, the 16th, and we look forward to seeing you in person if you are able to join us. And then we'll be right here online at 11. So join us now, if you would, for our closing song. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. Love you, we bless you, and we thank you. Have a fantastic week. Take care.